I remember when the revolution started to get at the top of his heap. It was getting really heated, and my dad could see in our faces that that we could not be in the situation much longer. He could see the fear in our faces, that we're losing hope. You know, um, every day, every night was a struggle. It was just we were always wishing that night would not come around because we never knew what would happen. Sleeping in a bathroom tub to protect ourselves from ricochet bullets or loose bullets or whatever. Things like that. I mean, we're not the only family that did that, but that's what we did. Or just taking our mattresses off and putting them on the floor. It was a real traumatic experience for us. In a way, today as an adult and as I recall back, some people might say like, "Oh, how cool that you went through all of that," right? Yeah, maybe. It's an experience that I don't wish on anyone. I have it now, and Annabelle has it too, your mom. But I remember that when Dad did make the decision for us to flee, he contacted the U.S. Embassy saying, "Hey, we're U.S. citizens and we need to flee this country because my life is in danger as well as my wife's. I mean, my family's." And so, speaking of that, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. There were a lot of times where the Sandinistas came over to look for my dad because of his association with the government. So that was scary, just the thought that my dad could be dead. They could pretty much, execute my dad in front of us. So that thought itself was just terrifying, that would happen to us, to make a long story short, Dad made the decision. We just packed a few important things, our documents, and Dad had a brand new Ford Granada, which was in those days it was a big deal, Ford Granada. And so we packed those things and we got in the car and we decided that we're going to flee the country on land, because getting on a plane on the airport in those days was less than the shore. We would definitely not get on a plane. So Dad decided that we should just get on a car and head north. And that's what we did. As we were heading north, he had some diplomatic clearance, but we ran into National Guard or Army barricades, and we also ran into Sandinista barricades. And they were both equally as dangerous and traumatic for kids like our age at that time. I remember one time, we were approaching a National Guard Army barricade as we were fleeing the country, and we were asked to stop, or my dad was asked to stop, but there was really no place to stop, so my dad had to drive a few feet forward, and that was enough for them to justify sweeping us with a machine gun. We could hear him locking and loading, and my dad heard that, he just stopped and he raised his hand outside the window and he said, hey, whoa, I'm just trying to find a place to park here, okay? I got children in here, But can you imagine that? And we got that same type of treatment from the Sandinistas too. So finally, we were able to get out of the Nicaraguan border into Honduras and eventually Salvador, and then we crossed all of Mexico. And then crossing Mexico, we had a whole other political issue there, us being foreigners in Mexico trying to, head north, and, the local police or the federales trying to, get a money bite from us, so everywhere we went, we faced some sort of challenge or adversity, but, thank God, he loves us and he knows who we are, so he got us through all these challenges to where I could be here talking to you today and tell you boys, and the stories.